say go outside, or if you can't go outside, just look out the window. There are birds everywhere. So that's maybe the most important thing to do. Just be aware of the existence of birds everywhere you go. The next thing I would say, maybe the second point of advice is the same advice, but the other side of the coin is just dig right in, dive in, just get into it. You'll find a bird, and it might be a bird that you're really familiar with, a bird like an American robin or a Canada goose, and just spend a lot of quality time with the bird. Just spend some time looking at a robin, looking at a Canada goose, and I think you'll really realize that there's an awful lot to learn about even some of the most common birds. So dive right in, check out the common birds, and everything else will fall into place.
Cool. This is Van Rudd with tips for beginning birders.
First thing is to use your ears along with your eyes. And the second one, never say it's just a robin.
Okay. and if anybody says it's just a robin, what do you do to them?
I would smack them upside the head.
There you go. The difference between birding in a wide open space over a lake versus finding a bird in the trees, what would be your advice for those two different scenarios?
Well, 9 times out of 10, it's a squirrel.
We have Pete Christensen. This is his advice for beginning birders.
One thing I like to do,
let's come around over here because your face.
My binoculars, is I try to spot that bird with my eyes. Not move my head. Keep your eye on the prize, and you bring your binoculars right up to your eyes. And then if you can't quite see it, you only bring them down just a little bit, re-spot it, and then bring them right back.
So if it moves off frame, don't follow with the binoculars.
Instead of like bringing them all the way down here and bringing them all the way up, you just kind of keep them up high and then re-spot it.
Great tip. Anything else?
That's the first start.
Okay.
When the air is still and calm and there's not too much noise, what I'll see usually first, you'll either hear them, and even after you hear a bird, you still can't find it. So just stare where the birds are. Don't bring up binoculars. Get yourself a wide-angle view. Look for something like this, just a little shake. And it's usually a bird hopping around. And shake here. And when you see it shaking, still don't bring your binoculars up yet. Just keep your eye on that spot. Wait for the bird to come out. It will eventually. It'll come out to see you usually, and then bring your binoculars up slowly. Now, if the bird goes back into the tree, you might want to keep your binoculars on the spot for a few seconds, but it might have moved 10 feet to the right and you're not going to find it again. Take your
All right, one of the things I like to do is figure out where to find the birds. And my favorite go-to tool is eBird, which is an app you can download on your iPhone. So I open it up, first screen, explore regions. Now this is the Mac version. Your iPhone will be a little bit different, but the options are there. So I want to go to the county of Boulder, and then it brings up a bunch of information on birding in Boulder, but I go to the left side here and I click on hotspots. That'll show me all the popular places to bird in Boulder County, Colorado. I like Wanaka Lake because it's right near me, so I'm going to click on that. And now, how do I find Wanaka Lake? I'm trying to figure out how to get there. Well, look at that up at the top. You click on directions, and voila. You get a nice little map with directions. Since I'm on my Mac, I can't navigate from here, but you can do this on your iPhone. It's a little bit different in the eBird app when you want to direct, but as soon as you hit directions, you can open up your navigation just like you would to any other Google map, and then go straight to your hotspot. So that's how I. All right, so you're out in the field, you saw a bird, now you're trying to figure out what it is. I love my Merlin Bird ID app, and I start by do the step-by-step. So I click on that, and it asks me, hey, where did you see this bird? I'm gonna go to Uruguay. Why not? And it was January. I was in Uruguay. What is this bird's size about? Well, it gives me some references. I'm going to go a little bit bigger than a crow, so that gives it another hint. And then what color scheme was it? It was brown and what was it? It was blue. It was brown and blue. And then what was it doing? So, but from all this behavior and color and size, that was in the trees. Then it's going to give me a list of possible birds. And since I got a quick look at it, maybe I can match it up. And this is a great way to do it. I can eliminate a lot of these birds. Now that wasn't it. And then I click on the one I think it is, and then I can do a little more research and maybe confirm that was the bird. All right, back to the Merlin app. Even a better way to identify birds. Suppose you have a photo, you click on the little camera icon there. Got the photo downloaded to your iPhone, so I'll scroll down here. Where's my bird photo? Oh, there it is. That's the bird I saw. I'll click on that, and that'll pop it into the iBird app, or the Merlin app. And once it's in the Merlin app, I ask it to, hey, yeah, that's it, identify it. So I get the frame, I get it centered, click on identify, and then Merlin's going to come up with its best guess of what it is. I know this was a yellow-billed teal from Uruguay, so great. And that's the first guess up there at the top. It always gives you its best guess at the top, and then its next best guess on down. So it helps you identify real fast. And now for the most popular tool on Merlin, we go back, bring up the app, got to clear it out, do some housekeeping, and then we go to Sound ID. So you click on the Sound ID once you get the app up and running, and go outside, and it immediately starts listening for the birds it hears in your area. One word of caution, it does make mistakes, so don't count it as 100%, but it's a great way, if you can't see a bird, to see what's out there. And lo and behold, in my backyard, it found a little house finch. That's wonderful. If I left it running longer, it would continue to find birds, but there wasn't many out there this afternoon.